promoting discussion in elementary science classrooms. In classes using the science inquiry process, discussion is absolutely central to the learning process. This is supported by scientific inquiry research and effective classroom practices. On the left is Lexi Donahue, who will be speaking first. And to the right is Danielle Hart. Both fourth grade teachers use science inquiry. How do you facilitate productive discussion in your science classroom?
I think in order to facilitate discussions in scientific inquiry, it's really important to think ahead of time about the groupings of the different students and to do a lot of modeling with them around how do we start conversations.
More tangibly, what that might look like is really working on the routines around that from the beginning of the year. So having those thinking strategies and having those routines of what a turn and talk looks and sound like. And then bumping that level up to how do you communicate in a group and take turns? And then what does that look like when someone has to share out?
How do we start conversations? Is it always the same student starting, thinking about what should we look like, what should we sound like? And to give some sentence stems like, I saw, I observed, and then what this means is.
Having sentence stems, I find, is really helpful when we're trying to frame that accountable talk and accountable discussion. So instead of just being a passive listener and letting someone else share their thinking, but really being able to build off of what someone else says. So sounding like, I agree with Tracy, but I'd also like to add on that we noticed this happened as well. So being able to build on someone's idea, hear it, build on it, or respectfully disagree. We try to say that a lot. So having those sentence stems readily available for students to promote discussion so that they're feeling confident, and oftentimes allowing them to share in smaller settings before they share with a larger setting so that they have the support of others in order to push them towards greatness and share with the rest of the class in a comfortable way.
How do you ensure all voices are heard?
I think the way in which we allow them to share with each other first helps to promote that, but also when we're co-teaching, having the two of us in the room can allow for more productive and on-task conversations so that when it comes time for the bigger group to share, we know as the facilitators that the conversation was either on task or off task, and then how to redirect it by not calling on some of those kids that we know already reached their goal, and really maybe using some of those students who need a little bit more support to sometimes who maybe have the wrong, not necessarily the wrong, or haven't reached the right answer yet, to let that have the space in the room so that others can actively contribute to that. And so that back and forth, that balance, is something that we're really trying to work with and be able to be okay with the discomfort. And knowing that it's not always about having the right answer all the time, but knowing how to work through it and work together in order to reach the answer that you're looking for.
Key takeaways. How do these teachers promote discussion in their science classrooms? Group students strategically. Model discussion. Create accountable discussion routines. Provide sentence stems. Ensure all voices are heard. Know that it's not about having the answer, but working through to reach an answer together. To learn more, visit bit.ly/cast-oasis-project. CAST, until learning has no limits. Ideas that work. U.S. Office of Special Education Programs. The contents of this video were developed under a grant from the U.S. Department of Education, #H327S210014. However, those contents do not necessarily represent the policy of the U.S. Department of Education. You should not assume endorsement by the federal government. Project Officer, Anita Vermeer.